welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name's Brooke and I do a bunch of DIY videos and room renovation videos, mostly renter friendly things since I am in a rental house right now. Today I'm going to show you guys a cabinet that I've been working on. It's actually done now and I'm keeping it for myself. I've been seeing a bunch of inspiration photos on Pinterest and other social media outlets, and I'm super excited to show you guys. There's a bunch of new things that I've tried for myself, so it's a learning curve for me as well, and I want to show you guys my mistakes as well as my successes in this video. If you are not already, subscribe down below, and there's a little bell icon in the corner that will let you know when I upload a new video. So let's get to the DIY. Hello, welcome back. I wanted to show you guys the new project that I'm working on. So this is it right here. I will post a inspiration picture on the screen so you can see what I want it to look like. But these are the legs, and I actually took them off earlier this week. They're just these metal, they're really heavy legs, and I didn't like them. I want to go for a different look. I wanted wood legs and I don't want these, so I will show you guys what I am thinking. So now I'm just going to take the doors off and start sanding the doors. So guys, I will meet you outside. Okay, I'm outside getting ready to sand the doors. I'm going to be hand sanding it because I can't seem to find my sander. And I know what you may be asking yourself, how does one lose a sander? I don't know. I just don't know. It's like a fool for you. Wish I knew just what it was, but why should I make a fuss? Just stay next to me, girl. Next to me, girl. Something special, don't know why. Something special that I like about you. About you. There's a mystery entwined, something bigger to define about you. So I guess it's no surprise to you guys, but I decided to go with a bare paint color. The paint color that I chose is Limousine Leather. It's their Dynasty Marquee line. It's a one coat coverage. I did do two coats since the wood color was so dark, but I decided to do a satin finish, which is more on the matte side. It doesn't really have a shiny, it doesn't really have a sheen to it. It's just kind of matte. This limousine leather. I just needed a quart for this project, so that is all I got. So like I said, I did do two coats of this paint. I taped off the glass on the inside of the door, and then I just started painting. After I painted the doors, I ended up painting the rest of the cabinet. I decided to tape the inside of the cabinet because of the way the doors close, you would still see on the very edge on the inside, you would still be able to see the wood. So I decided to paint just an inch on the inside of the cabinet so that you wouldn't be able to see the wood color. So I taped that off, and then I painted the whole thing except for the top, because this top has like this vinyl layer on it that I didn't think would take well to the paint. So the top of it is still brown, but you can't see because it's super tall anyway, and it's a dark enough brown to where it blends in really well. So I painted the whole cabinet, and then I also did two coats of that as well. doors today. They're painted. Everything got 2 coats of the Bear paint that I picked out, and I actually did the fabric on one of the doors last night, and it turned out really nice. All I did was I put Mod Podge on the glass. I used a little sponge to spread it, and then I took a box cutter to cut around the edges once it was dry. I used a bunch of books and some weights on the books to hold down the edges so that the edges were really close to the edge of the I guess glass. So kind of had to mess with it a little bit, but once I got the books on there, it stuck really well. So now I'm going to do the second door on camera, and then I'll show y'all the rest of the process. When it came to gluing the fabric onto the glass part, because I left the glass on just so I would have a surface to put the fabric onto, I wasn't sure what I would use, but I did some research, and Mod Podge, since I already had that in stock, I decided to use that, and they said Mod Podge is a pretty good adhesive for glass and fabric, so I ended up just pouring the Mod Podge on top of the glass, and then I spread it with my little sponge brush thing, and I only did 1 coat, and then as soon as I was done, so then I went ahead and I laid the fabric down on the glass that I had glued, and I made sure that the edges were sticking perfectly. Also, make sure you put the right side of the fabric down on the glass before you start gluing, because that's what I did at first. So you just lay it down, and then you press down with your hand, and you make sure you get into the cracks with the fabric. I just used my nails. I guess you could use a object for that as well if you wanted to get down in the crevices a little more. But that's all I did, and then I waited for it to dry. And then I went in, I wanted to make sure the edges stuck really well. So I took some books and I put them on the fabric and kind of shoved them in the corners, because the corners of the books are since I finished the other door last night while the second one is drying, I'm going to wrap this cording that will go around the edges, like the interior of the door, so that it gives a finished look. So I'm going to wrap them in the same fabric using fabric glue that I got from Hobby Lobby. It's fast acting. So I'm going to wrap this, and then I'm going to glue it onto the actual door. So we will see how this goes. So when it came to wrapping the cording on the edges of the glass to give it that finished look, I wasn't sure how to start with it, but I did looked at some videos, kind of did it my own way. So what I did is I laid out the same fabric that I used to cover the glass of the doors, and I used fabric glue and put a line of fabric glue on the fabric, and then I laid the cording on top of that. The first one I didn't let dry. I just kind of started wrapping it, but I do recommend letting it dry first and then doing the wrapping of the fabric. So once you let that glue dry, then you put another coat of the fabric glue on top of the cording, and then you wrap the fabric around it. So this part you kind of have to play with and keep like pushing it down to make sure it stays tight on the cording, but it's super easy and I think anybody can do it. And then once the glue is dry, you just cut the excess fabric off, and there's your finished product. So I ended up getting new legs for this piece of project. The original ones were those black metal legs, which I didn't like too much. They were a little too industrial for me, so I decided to get the wood legs that you would see on a lot of mid-century modern pieces. So I got those for my piece, and I ended up painting them black to match the rest of the furniture. And they also came with the, I guess, little pieces that the legs screw into, so that they would be secure. I don't fit into your box, beauty queens without no flaws. You can do better, I dare you to. I do want to point out that I did realize that I was doing this wrong. I just wanted to show you guys my mistakes. So what you do is you would typically flip the little metal piece over. You have to screw a hole into the piece of wood and flip that over, and then the legs would lay flush up against the piece of furniture. So just wanted to show you my mistakes, but I did fix it. Let me show you what a good I belong to you. This was probably the most satisfying part of the whole project. I took the books off of the door. Once it was dry, I waited overnight for it to dry just so I would make sure that it was completely dry. And then I took a box cutter and started cutting the excess fabric off of the door. I did have to do a few swipes of the box cutter in order to get all the fibers of the fabric separated. So a few swipes of that, and then on some of the corners it didn't really stick very well, and I guess from me pulling the fabric off it kind of came apart, so I just put extra glue down, and that stuck perfectly. So it ended up being pretty satisfying to get the extra fabric off to see kind of a finished product. Okay, so I've gotten the excess off, and it's got a rough edge all the way around, and I'm going to turn this door into this door with the cording around. It just gives us a nice finished edge. You won't see the rough edges like you will here and here. So you won't, I need to glue that back down, but you won't see all that. It will be nice and finished, and I will show you guys how I did this. Once I got all the cording put together and glued and cut the excess off, I went ahead and glued the cording onto the door to give it that finished product for the door. So all I did is use the same fabric glue as I did for wrapping the cording. I just put that all along the exterior of the glass, where the glass meets the wood. And then I just laid the cording down right on the edge, and I kinda, since this glue was really fast drying, I knew that I wouldn't have to clamp it or make sure that the cording stayed really close to the edges. So I put the glue down, and then I would push. So I don't know why, but putting the hinges back on this piece of furniture to put the doors on was the hardest part of this project. Right here you're seeing me actually, I've already got the hinges on, so the doors are going on pretty smoothly. But before this, I was struggling. I could not remember how I put those hinges, or how I took the hinges off and which way they should be facing. So it took me a long time to get to this point, but once I did, it went on super easy, and the finished product is just beautiful. show you guys when I'm done. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys learned as much as I did throughout this project. If you have any questions, please comment below or give me any ideas for any more DIY projects that y'all want to see. I am working on getting another one in my possession so that I can work on that one and show you guys as well. But I really love the way this one turned out. It wasn't perfect by any means, but it's exactly my vision, and I'm so excited to share more with you guys. Again, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and hit that bell notification so you can know when I post a new video. I will see you guys next time. Bye.
I want to be there and baby dance the night away. I let my head down if I want. Don't you just get tired chasing fame and being pretty all the time?